We have been brought here by love, by pride, or by duty. But we cannot all leave. On guard! For the last 2 years, I've been designing and developing a board game called Musketeers. In Musketeers, each player controls a single duelist, fighting to the death by moving around the board and playing action cards. Here's how it works. Each player controls a single duelist and has a deck of 10 action cards. Each turn, one player will start with the initiative. They must play a card from their hand face down, as well as optionally moving and rotating their duelist. Once they've done this, the next player does the same thing until every player has placed a face down action. Then, all of the actions are flipped face up and resolved. This might mean attacking an opponent, blocking an attack, making an additional movement, or doing something else. You must pay the energy cost of your played card, even if that means missing an attack. However, you are allowed to play cards that you can't afford. When this happens, you don't pay anything and the card does nothing. But enough rules. Why do I think this game is interesting? As a fan of highly strategic and highly interactive board games, I think Musketeers exemplifies both without taking 1 hour to set up or 10 hours to learn. I mean, I just explained the core rules in under 60 seconds. But the game's depth emerges from the interactions between rules and between players. The game's depth comes out of the initiative system. The initiative system is at the heart of the game's decision making. Because players with the initiative must play a card before seeing their opponent's movement, it can be easy for opponents to guess where an attack might land and step out of the way. However, players don't gain any energy on turns where they don't have the initiative. This means that the only way to attack someone on a turn where you don't have the initiative is to plan a few turns in advance, either spending your energy on cheap cards or strategically giving up an action by playing a card you can't afford. The ideal turn is one where you have a lot of energy and a highly damaging attack in hand, as well as your opponent having the initiative and being out of blocks. Until that happens, you'll have to juggle your resources and sneak in a few attacks when your opponent least expects it. There's some aspects of the game I haven't touched on. There's passive buffs, card drawing, and fixing the order of your deck. If you want to learn about those, you'll have to play the game yourself. My goal is to crowdfund this game through Kickstarter in a year. Until then, the best way to play Musketeers is on Tabletop Simulator. All you need to do is install Tabletop Simulator on your computer and subscribe to Musketeers on the Steam Workshop. A link to the workshop mod is in the pinned comment. If you don't have Tabletop Simulator, a link to the rulebook is also in the pinned comment. It's not enough to get you playing on its own, but hopefully it's interesting. I'm making this video in part because I need more feedback. I'm really happy with the core gameplay, but your feedback helps me figure out what's confusing and what's unbalanced. I'm also going to be making a series of videos on how I got here and what I've learned along the way. I just got a proper microphone, and I'm still learning how to edit videos, but I will get those out as soon as I can. Until then, I hope you enjoy the game.